Hey everyone, I'm Jacki Jing, and welcome to day one of Debrief Sweden Major Edition, where we get things started in style. Here's all the big stories from today, and boy, where do we start? It really seemed that NA stood for near airport because they were having a stinker. While Oxygen weren't expected to do much, the other NA teams had somewhat more expectations upon their shoulders. But try as they might, they couldn't do anything at all. Dark Zero only won 4 rounds across the whole day, losing to Team Vitality and Team 1. Sonics 2 only won 4 rounds in total and were swept aside by NIP and BDS to end a disappointing day 1. It seemed that the memes were coming true, but out through the darkness came our savior. SSG had narrowly lost their opener to Furia 7-8 and were slotted in for the final game of the day as well, but jaws dropped and meme makers across the world fell silent as SSG produced 2 impossible opening rounds against Empire.
In this retake now with an entire study lockdown and control, it becomes a very tricky entrance. Pre-fires his way through the door, gets behind a sturdier door, but still, there's 3 people that you've got to open, the first and the second. Way. Are either side, a quad kill and 20 seconds on the board. He's going to see if he can play it. Dan's going to have to go for a swing. Round the corner, it's the ace! Fault sends it into space itself.
So strong, it's a great to fall in as well, and it's only up to Rempe now. Is he going to be able to go for a clutch as well? For an ace clutch even. He gets 2 to start it off. That's a potential 3rd, but Dan survives just barely. It's the 3rd one to come through. He spots one more. Is he going to be able to get that one? He swings around the corner. He gets a little bit off. No way, he gets a quad kill. That is his 2nd clutch in a row. What are we seeing?
SSG came through off the back of those clutches, taking a tense 7-5 win in the end and saved NA from being whitewashed. EU, on the other hand, had a much better day than NA did. BDS only dropped 5 rounds in total across the day, living well up to expectations. Team Vitality, meanwhile, started off strong with their 7-1 Dark Zero demolition, but they stumbled against Sandbox Gaming, falling flat in a 7-3. Rogue, meanwhile, took 2 tense wins, coming back in overtime, first against the Chiefs in an 8-7, and then 8-6 against Oxygen with a sub. But the most disappointing were Empire, who came away with nothing to follow up their grand final appearance at the Mexico Major. Over in the Brazilian camp, records were being broken. FaZe Clan became the first team in a major to have gone 14-0 as they tore through Oxygen and Chiefs. Defending major champs Team 1 did really well too, going 7-2 and 7-3 against Sandbox and Dark Zero. World champions NIP also survived a 7-5 scare against a weakened IG, but came through to take Sonics down with a much easier 7-2. Furia were then on course to help LATAM have a flawless day, having beaten SSG earlier, but they came up against a high-flying Damwon Gaming. Damwon had been extremely confident before the games had started and had backed it up with a staggering 7-3 win over Team Empire. That confidence shone through in the second matchup as well, as Furia found themselves wiped off the board. Top Dog Fantasy had an invisible game as the Koreans came up big to go top in the group of death after a 7-4 win. Their Korean brothers on Sandbox fared decently well, winning 7-3 against Team Vitality despite losing their opener against Team 1 after they said they were just too sleepy to play. Chiefs scraped a point in their tense loss to Rogue, but could not hang against FaZe at all, while IG lost both matches as expected, though they had respectable performances in both. NA Zeros, FaZe, and Damwon Heroes, where do we go from here tomorrow? Let us know in the comments what you thought about this crazy day of action. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe and go follow us on Twitter to stay on top of the madness in Sweden. And follow me, Jacki Jing. If you want to see more of the numbers that players like FaZe's Bullet were putting up, head on over to the Siege GG competitions page. And of course, stay tuned to Siege GG to see if we're already going to be seeing someone else say goodbye tomorrow itself. Bye, Siege fam.